Hi, good morning. I want to talk a little bit about chapter 18 here, and this is going to be the first part of it. And I will say here we are going to talk about electrostatics, and electrostatics means charges at rest. Then they don't move. Okay, when we are going to start about charges that they are going to move, we are going to talk about electricity. Now we have two types of charges, positive charges and negative charges. Now, if I have here, let's say this is a rod and this is a cloth, whatever, I don't want to specify now what are these. If I want to rub one material with the another, the electrons have the ability to migrate from 1 to 2, or like if from 2 to 1. Here I'm going to assume it is from 1 to 2, and therefore they are going to lose. The first one is going to lose, let's assume it's going to lose 6 electrons, and therefore is going to have less electrons, and therefore is going to look as positive. And for the second one, the cloth is going to gain 6 electrons, which means more electrons, and therefore is going to look negative. Now, positive charges inside the atom, they are really called protons. They are pretty heavy compared to the electrons. And one charge is 1.6 10 to the negative 19 coulomb. And I have also electrons that they are revolving the nucleus. They are negative charges, and they are really super light when compared with the protons. And these are really, they have in a charge negative E, which is negative 1.6 10 to the negative 19 coulombs. Now, if I assume here I'm going to talk about specific element, for example, Na, it has an atomic number which is like, this is what I want to, this number here, we call it the atomic number. This is the number of protons in the nucleus. And if you will look at the electronic distribution here, you're going to find that this atom in its condition is going to be neutral, which means it doesn't have a charge. And because if we have 11 protons plus 11, we have 11 electrons, then negative 11, then plus 11 minus 11 is 0. But this atom have the tendency to lose electrons, and therefore it will lose that one, which is by itself, and is going to show as plus 11 minus 10, which is plus 1. And that one we call it an ion, and we call it Na plus ion. And I will say here, this is a general rule for group 1 in the periodic table. I will say they have the tendency to lose 1 electron. Therefore, they're going to form positive ions, and they are plus 1. For the second one, it is plus 2. For the third one, again, it has the tendency to lose 3, then plus 3. And when we move to the fifth group, it has the tendency to gain 3 electrons, therefore negative 3. For the sixth, gain 2 electrons, negative 2. For the seventh, gain 1 electron, which is negative 1. In the SI system, charge is measured in coulomb, and coulomb, we give it capital C. And something that we need to know, that charge cannot be destroyed nor created. We have this conservation of charge law, which, like, if you look here, I said this one is going to lose 6, this one is going to gain 6. Other information also we can classify materials into conductors, insulators. The conductors, they have free electrons, they are carriers of charge, and therefore they can transport electricity, whereas the insulators, they hold the charge tightly and they are not able to conduct electricity. Another rule that is really important, that like charges are repelling each other, and therefore the force, they're going to be away from each other. These are positives together, these are negatives together. When they are unlike, they're going to attract each other. Before I start talking about the actual physics, I want to say something about polarization. You have a balloon here that is initially charged. You may rub it with your clothes, you may rub it with your hair. And initially, if this is the wall, it's gonna have like the charges, the negatives and positives, they are really together, sitting together in this way. When I will bring the balloon next to the wall, we're gonna find that the positives, they're gonna be on the surface attracted to the negative, and the negatives in the wall, they're gonna be moving away. Okay, and therefore this is gonna rearrange the charges, and this is what we call it polarization. I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna make the videos short, and I will see you soon.